Okay, so our gel is done running. So I turned the power source off, and now I'm going to unplug it. I'll just unplug both of those just in case. And then I'm going to unplug the leads. And now I'm going to uncover it. So I'm going to take the cover off. And it looks good. So I'm going to show you what this gel looks like as soon as I pull it out of the buffer. And I've got my stain ready to roll. This stain is called Fast Blast Stain. You can see it. It's a blue stain. And you can use it at different concentrations. What I did for time's sake is I actually used a more concentrated form of it. I only made a 1:5 dilution, and therefore it should only take about 15 minutes for my my gel to stain. If we were in lab together, we would have been at our point where lab is wrapping up, so we wouldn't have time to actually stain it for those 15 minutes. So I would be giving you a more dilute stain, and you'd be leaving yours overnight, or maybe even a couple of nights. Okay, so I used mine in a more concentrated form just for time's sake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my gel out of the buffer. I'm going to take it off of the casting tray, but leave it on the glass. And then I'm going to put it right into my stain. So I'm going to reach in here, so I have my gloves on. I'm going to reach in and I'm going to grab my gel. Any buffer, I'm just going to kind of tilt it to get that off. Okay, and so you can see the loading die on there? It's actually two bands. One down here and one about midway. The darker one's midway. The lighter one is the one I was watching for to make sure that it doesn't fall off the gel. Okay, I'm going to push my gel now off of that casting tray, hopefully very carefully so that I don't rip it. I'm going to be really gentle with it. Okay, so now my casting tray, the plastic casting tray, I'm just going to put off to the side. I'm done with that. And now I have my gel that now has my restriction DNA hopefully run on it. I can't see it yet, so hopefully. And I'm going to put this whole thing into stain. So I'm just going to drop it right into my Tupperware. And I'm going to keep it on the glass just in case. I'm going to get rid of this glove before I turn something else blue. And I'm going to put the cover on, and every little while I'm going to swirl it. This would actually be better if we had a rocking plate, but we just don't have one in the lab. So what I'm going to do is every once in a while I'm just going to take my Tupperware and I'm just going to kind of swirl it. Okay, a rocking plate or an agitator would be better because it would just take it and it would just constantly move it for us. So I'm going to have to manually do it every once in a while. So again, in 15 minutes, I'll start recording again, and that's when we're going to take our gel out, hopefully, and put it on our light box, and we could pull some measurements. I'll take a picture of it too to put onto Blackboard for you. Okay, so this is what the finished product of our gel looks like. And I'm having a lot of trouble with lighting. I tried to light it from behind like we would in the lab with our light box. And the camera on my computer does not like that light. So now I have it illuminated from the side, just using a ring light. And that's not doing a great job either. And so what I've done is I've actually taken a picture of our gel. And I've kind of blown it up a little bit so that you can really see the banding pattern. And I've just uploaded that picture to Blackboard. So you can see the finished product here. It actually worked out beautifully. I'm not sure if you can see the banding pattern, but in lane 1, which is our suspect DNA, we got really good banding. And here we've got multiple bands, all 6 of them. So you're going to be taking measurements off of that first lane where we loaded DNA into that first well. Okay, again, off the picture. And then in our second lane, we have the crime scene DNA, which again ran out beautifully. In our third well over, we've got suspect 1. Then we have suspect 2, suspect 3's fingerprint, suspect 4, and suspect 5. And so what we can see on here is the DNA has become fragmented, right? That restriction digest gave us fragmented DNA, and our gel electrophoresis worked. That fragmented DNA was separated on the basis of charge, right? So it ran from negative in the well, where the DNA is. DNA is negatively charged, so it ran towards the positive electrode. And in doing that, it was separated on the basis of size. So the smaller the fragment, the farther it migrated in the gel. And the opposite, the larger the fragment, the less it migrated. So your banding is going to go from largest fragment down to smallest fragment. Okay, and again, you're going to use that picture of the gel that I took for you. Obviously, the bands are much clearer to see and to take measurements. You're going to be measuring using millimeters, so you're going to have a ruler handy. And you are going to want to watch the next video, which is on graphing gel results. That's going to walk you through how to measure and then what to do with those measurements. Okay, you're going to use the first well, the first lane, your marker or standard DNA, is what you're going to actually graph. And then based on that graph, the line that you produce, you'll be able to tell the measurements, the size, of fragments in every other well on your gel. So you're going to use that video along with the picture of our gel to fill out your whole data report, which includes that table as well as the graph. Okay, so you want to make sure that you watch that video to figure out how to do the analysis. Okay? Okay.